Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2020 horror film Alone. So this stars Tyler Posey, Summer Spiro, Donald Sutherland. Um, this is it's an hour and a half. Some parts go super quick, some parts go super slow. The 2020 film. So this came out October 2020, and the 2020 film #Alive, which is a Korean horror film, are both based on the same script. And I did not want to watch this film for the longest time because once the trailer came out after the after #Alive premiered on Netflix, after it did its Korean circle in the film in the movie theaters, right before the world shut down for COVID, that was like February 2020, roughly, when the movie was in theaters in Korea. But then it got to Netflix streaming like June 2020, from what I remember and from what I just read, to catch up on this. And that movie's awesome. It's this video game streamer. He's in an apartment alone, and this zombie outbreak starts, and he finds this girl across like the courtyard, and they string a line and send stuff back and forth to each other, balcony to balcony, and then eventually they come together to, survive, right? So that way it's #alive. What do you do to stay alive? And so, very good, very great horror film, right? The zombies are fast and they're scary and things, right? So the trailer dropped for this film, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, yo, okay, Tyler's in it. Yo, we're gonna watch this, like, because it's Tyler Posey, right? He's awesome musician, an awesome actor, since he was a kid, and everybody knows and loves him as Scott McCall in Teen Wolf. So I was like, okay, yeah. And then I'm watching it, I'm like, why does this look familiar? Like, I felt like I was having deja vu or a stroke at the same time, because I'm like, I know this scene. I've seen this scene in something. And then it was like he jumps from the balcony, and then like he sends something down a rope, or I don't remember what was in the trailer specifically, but it was like shot for shot the Korean film to this American film. And I'm like, did they really do an American remake within the same time period that the original Korean one came out? I was like, bro, what? Because at that same time the big they, were referencing how they wanted to do an American version of Train to Busan, which is another Korean zombie film, which is incredible. And I was like, bro, why? Why? Just read subtitles. You don't have to remake something into an American film that way people speak English. And I was like, that's just stupid. Like, enjoy the film in the country it was made in, with the language that's primarily spoken there, and read the subtitles. It's not hard. It's not hard to appreciate someone else's culture if you don't speak the language, because there's subtitles. It's very simple. So I didn't watch this film because of that reason. And then it circulates again within my, it's been on my list of things to watch. So I was like, okay, we love Tyler. It's been quite some time since the movie came out. Let's try it. It's very quick. And I'm watching it, and it's very similar. It's the same, premise. But he's not a video game streamer. He's a surfer stuck in his apartment, girl across and down, actually. He sends a rope, sends her water. They eventually get together, to survive, right? That's the premise. Okay. Certain scenes were really cool. Certain kill shots were cool. But these were not really zombies. They were just like cannibals. And the news was saying something about reptilian stuff. And I'm like, huh? And these are conscious infected people who like know that they're killing people to eat them, and like are only muttering like kill me or get away or like things. And I'm like, but this isn't a zombie film then. So what is this? This is an apocalyptic film, but it's pitched as another zombie film. But these are talking zombies. Like, the only talking zombies that I approve of is within Santa Clarita Diet and Return of the Living Dead, which is an '80s classic. And that's with the toxic one screaming brains, and then the one on the slabs, saying it hurts, like stuff, right? But I don't know. I thought it was strange. They didn't use the Z word in this. It was kind of explained. Like, the apartment complex that it takes place in is gorgeous. I also found it hysterical, and I just know this from working in this particular design industry back in the day, They used the same backsplash hexagon white tiles that they did for the flooring in the bathroom. And if you don't know design, you wouldn't pay attention to that. And I'm like, it's the same exact 4-inch hexagon tile. And it's an easy design element. You just put it a certain way in one spot, hexagons on the point, and then you tilt it and have hexagon on the side and put it on the ground. It works. It works. It's fine. Tyler did a great job with the material he was given. I did not like this movie in its entirety because every time there was a scene transition, it would fade to black. And they used canned screaming that we've heard in plenty of other old movies before. Like, you know, when you watch a sitcom and you hear the laugh track, right? It's canned laugh track, right? That's laugh tracks from like the 50s. Those people aren't alive anymore. They don't exist anymore, but it's still recycled. So this had recycled scream sounds from previous films and TV shows, and I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Another thing which I found very weird from this is a horror film, right? But it was filmed like it was an art piece film in a fetish aspect. There were so many long drawn shots of Tyler Posey's armpits constantly, whether he was showering in the rain or like he's like laying down on like his bed and like, you know, one arm's up, but like the camera would like focus on the pit. And like there were so many shots, like so many scenes started on his feet, whether he was barefoot, whether he was socked, and then like drawn up to like, you know, his waistline, and then like went up to him. And I'm like, but this, I get it's a stylized choice, but this is becoming a fetish piece, not a horror film. And also like there was a moment where Tyler's character of Aiden is talking to the girl across, her name's Eva, about how she likes to draw, and like she just has like drawings, you know, around, and like there's just one focal drawing of her feet. I'm like, okay, so this is a fetish piece. This is a fetish film. We're focusing on feet and pits. Tyler's naked in 2 scenes. He's shirtless in majority of the film, and it's interesting because the focal point of the camera is going towards these things, whether it's his feet, whether it's his armpits, whether it's his butt, whether it's his, you know, naked torso, right? I'm so happy that he didn't have to cover up his tattoos, because he has to cover up his tattoos within Teen Wolf, and he got to grow his hair out, he got to grow a beard. Tyler's aesthetic in this is wonderful. It's that punk rock, you know, punk rocker that we all know and love, and he's awesome. He plays that. He doesn't play it. That's just him. So to see him on screen was very cool. But I don't like that it was like amplified for this stylized effect, which had nothing to do with the fact that this is a horror film about zombies. It was strange. It was a choice. I don't think it was the appropriate choice. You know, that's what other different projects are for, but it just didn't fit the flow of this horror film. You're watching a horror film. I don't need to stare at someone's feet every time that there's a transition of scene. The scene fades to black. This new scene starts on his feet, barefoot or feet with socks, goes up to his groin, and then goes up to him. Why is that a constant transition? I'm nitpicking on the technical aspect of the cinematography choice. I get that. But it defeats the purpose of an 1.5 hour long horror film. It was very slow because of these fetish transitions, which had nothing to do with the story. I feel bad. Actors did a great job with the material they were given. The makeup was great. You know, the whole zombified, gory stuff, that was great. I don't get it, because the Korean version of this is incredible. And then this is just sad compared to the Korean version, which is really amped and like, fight, let's survive. And it was, I don't know, man, it was a moment, and we watched it, and I'm holding this Tyler up to future Tyler standards when he can do projects and he can grow his hair out and he doesn't have to cover his tattoos. I was so happy to see Tyler as Tyler. That was cool. Being a fan of the actor for many a decades, it was nice to see him be him. But I've made my peace. I said my thoughts. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.